Okay, we're back. All right, so I am going to see if I can. There's inviting you to watch. And then once I see that you're on, Miss Karey B, here we go. And I'm inviting you. Here she goes. Okay, let's see. It's saying inviting.
There we go.
Yay!
I'm actually in my car, but that's okay.
I can't hear you. It's always my fault. My phone is hooked up. Oh, no, we can't hear you. It's all broken up. Darn it.
I just got to get to this little street here.
Oh, now we can.
Here you go.
Okay.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, that's weird.
Now
I didn't do anything.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. That is weird. Maybe it needed just to kind of.
Yeah, I was on the freeway. I ran. When the Holy Spirit is moving, you just got to be there. Somebody needed me to talk to them, so I'm not even home yet. So I'm pulling over to do your call. So yay! Thank God for options, right?
You are so. Yes, you are so amazing. So I just want to talk you up a little bit real fast now that you're on. I just want to share with everybody, this is one of my dear friends, Karey B. She is probably one of the biggest, friendliest, welcoming smiles that I got when I first started Scentsy. And she has been such an inspiration to me for so long on a personal level and a business level. And she is the #1 excuse buster that I've ever known. She has a full-time career. She's an executive. She is a mom. She is a wife. She is a grandma. She is a friend. She is a sister. She is everybody you could think of and then some. And so whenever I get to spend time with this lady and especially have her on to share with all of you, this amazing woman, I am just, you guys can see the energy I have. I'm so excited. So without further ado, I just want to introduce Miss Karey Bowens. And it's Team Chili Peppers, right?
I changed it, but I'll tell them that in the thing.
Okay. So you take her away. Thank you so much, Karey. I'm just going to sit and listen, and I got my notebook, and I can't wait to hear all about it.
Well, you guys have the most amazing leader in Jessica and Mitch, and I am beyond thrilled to be able to share with you guys. So I am Karey B, your 9-to-5 excuse busting director. That's how I like to introduce myself. And we are now Team Excuse Busters. I switched my name over because that's what we do. That's what's at my core. And I will share with you just a little bit about me. I'm married. I'll be married 30 years come November. And I have 2 amazing boys, one who just left the coop to go to law school yesterday. So I was a little sad mommy yesterday, but he made it safely. And my oldest boy is living his dream. He's an entrepreneur. He lives in Dallas, and he's just a gypsy is what we call him, a free bird, but he loves life. And I have the most amazing husband who supports me in absolutely everything I do. He's my rock. He keeps me grounded. He keeps me protected, and I'm excited for that. And I'm more excited that I was able to bring him home with Scentsy, home from working for someone. He is working our shop full time. He is just the best, and this lady needs me to move because she has a flat tire. Hold on. I'm sorry. She needs to get air in her tire, and I'm in her way. So that's okay. So my husband, hey, we do what we got to do, right? My husband is the main reason why I started Scentsy. So I was looking for something to do where I didn't have to ask someone their skin type, ask them if they liked to eat, ask them their size or anything. So Scentsy was the perfect tool for me and the perfect product. So here I am 8 years later doing Scentsy. In my first 7 months of doing Scentsy, I became a director in 4 months. I earned Sensational Start Level 3, and I earned my first incentive trip, all in my first 7 months with Scentsy. And I share that with you because, as Jess said, I have a very powerful job. I travel, at the time I traveled even more than I ever did in my life, around the world, living in Geneva, Switzerland for 2 weeks out of the month. And I had to figure out a way to make this happen. And so that's where the excuse busting started. Because right then and there out the gate, I could have said that I was too busy and that there's no way I could do this. Oh, did I tell you, working full-time mom, going to school full-time, pursuing my education, and I still figured out a way to become a director within my first 4 months, earn my incentive trip in my first 7 months, and keep everything going. And how did I do that? I did that with these little puppies. This is a basket party, okay? I carry basket parties absolutely everywhere I go. Jess, is the connection okay still? I see you moving.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to know how to connect my phone.
Okay. I carry this basket party absolutely everywhere I go. And Becca Levi told us about these little things. You know what these are? These are door prize slips. These are my excuse busters. Because I made sure I incented my host to get these filled out. Because living outside the country most of the month made it very difficult for me to really build relationships here in the United States. But these door prize slips are what saved my life. So if you're not getting door prize slips filled out, I highly encourage you to do so. Well, we all know that we can hand out a sample. So we can hand out a sample with our business card, and they will love the smell, they'll love the sample, but what does that really do for them? How does that reconnect them with you? If you give someone a sample and they walk away, where's the connection? You don't have their number, you don't have anything. So over the years, what I call a seed kit has evolved, and it's got a product list, it's got a door prize slip, it's got join information. And I have no problem asking people for their information, their phone number or some way to follow up. Because remember, if you're giving, you need to receive something because the power is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So if you're just handing out samples and you're saying my business isn't growing, I'm not, there's no new people joining, no one's going to my website. It's because you've given your power away. You've given your power to someone else, and you're waiting and hoping that they're going to follow up with you. Well, I'm here to tell you that 90% of the time they're not going to follow up with you. Oh my goodness, this thing is saying low battery, Jessica. Let's see. Yeah, it's because my charger is cheap and it won't charge. Okay, so hopefully I won't lose you guys. And if I do, I'll get back on really fast because I have my laptop with me. I'm trying to see if I have another cord. So sorry. You know how things just happen. So I want to tell you what I did is I pumped up my seed kits and I added what I call to actions. And I don't know if you guys can see this. But these say this one says they told me I couldn't, so I proved them wrong. But I have ones that say, looking for stay-at-home moms. How would additional $200 a week benefit your business or bless your family? I'm sorry. Have you ever thought about starting your own direct sale business? And then on the back, I give them an out. I say, hey, if this isn't for you, would you mind handing this off to a family or a friend? And when you do, I'll send you a gift. But if you do want to talk to me, let's have a Starbucks on me. Those are the types of things that I started doing to aid me in my business, to help me bust through the excuses. How many of you guys have decided that, your job says you can't bring in branding, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you've just accepted that? Well, I'm here to tell you that that is just not an excuse. It's not acceptable. So this new crossbody classic gray purse has saved my life, has changed my life, because now I can continue to show people that I'm a Scentsy consultant without having to do anything. But my mouse pad at work is a Scentsy mouse pad. My drink that I drink out of is a Scentsy cup. So please don't tell me you can't brand yourself at your place of business or that you can't get people, because I guarantee you it's probably because they don't know that you sell Scentsy. Let them know that you sell Scentsy. Make sure that when you're making your samples that you are passing them out, because people want to know about the scent of the month. I could just go through this bag and pull all kind of stuff out because I'm just that hyped up and ready for it. But my point is, guys, I want you to know that you can have anything that you want with Scentsy, but you have to first decide that you're going to give it your all. You're not going to let the excuses, because guess what? People are going to get sick. People are going to leave us. People are going to join us. People are going to not like us. Kids are going to break legs, and they're going to have dance recitals and all these things. But guess what? My sons know so much that I sell Scentsy and that I'm all in, that guess what they do? we're at the Cowboys game, and someone says, "Can you take our picture?" And my babies are 26 and 29 years old. This is a couple of years ago. And my son said, "My mom can only take your picture if you first fill out her door prize slip. She'll give you a sample when you're done." No joke. And so when your family and your friends know you, when your family and friends know that you are Scentsy and that you live it, they will support you. So if you have that spouse or that significant other that you don't think is supporting you, you don't need to give them lip talk. Just keep doing massive action and showing them, because you can always show somebody better than you can tell them. When you're showing them your dedication, when you're showing them your passion, they will come alongside of you. But if you're just sitting here doing this but not really putting the massive action into it, it's not going to happen. When you're traveling, you have to have what I call your seat kits. Now, my seat kit can transform. It can become a referral kit. It can become I haven't seen you in a while, 10% off. This is my recruiting packet. This is my, hey, I need a sample, because I had to find something that works for me. So these little puppies slide right in the back of my jeans. I can take them into the Cowboy games. I take them to concerts. I take them to business leadership functions. Everybody knows that I am the Scentsy person. And when you are consistent and can be trusted, the customers will come. But if you are full of excuses and you continually say, I can't because, I can't show up because, everything becomes an excuse, you won't be successful. You're going to always have this uphill battle where you're trying to restart because you've decided that this week it's on the shelf. It's not for me. Oh, let me pick it back up again. Oh, no, something else happened. It's back on the shelf. You can't live that way. You've got to bust through the excuses. My sister-in-law had a mild heart attack last week, you guys, in the hospital. Not only did I recruit the CNA there, her mother went online and ordered for me because she says, you know what, she's not going to sign until next month. I need stuff now. Do you see what I'm saying? I wasn't, being rude or disrespectful, but my family knows that I am Scentsy everywhere I go. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to decide in your mind each and every day. You have to rise up and say, this is going to be the day that I'm going to make it happen. And guess what? Even if you miss the mark. Yes. Okay. 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 I'm going to drive home. But anyway, they want me to move again. But anyway, if you are, if you haven't decided in your mind each and every day that you're going to go for it, that you're going to bust through every excuse that comes your way, then guess what? You're not going to do it. Instead, you're going to continue to let every little hiccup. I can tell you some hiccups. Spending the entire weekend in the hospital with my sister-in-law so she doesn't leave with a blood pressure of 237/118, and her mind's not right, so she's wanting to leave. But you know what I did? I sat up there and I collected $304 worth of orders. Jess, you want me to talk to them about how I did $500 in orders yesterday, right? Or Saturday, right?
Yes, please. Yes,
okay. But do you have any questions? Okay.
First of all,
so I'm going to tell you.
How many hours do you work a week with your other job other than Scentsy? Oh, you froze.
I work 50 to 60 hours a week at my day job.
50, 60 hours on a day job, okay.
But when I work those 50 or 60 hours a week, what I also do is every day I get about an hour's worth of Scentsy in every single day while I'm at work. That's during my lunchtime, that's during my break time, and sometimes I'm up at 6:30 in the morning so I can go meet customers or collect orders or do whatever I got to do before I even go to work. So sometimes I've done a couple hours of Scentsy before I even get to work. And you guys, am I going to have to do this forever? No, but I got to do it right now to get the foundation that I need to be successful.
Amen to that.
Okay. Do you want to ask me something else?
No, you've been so thorough so far. I've been just taking notes. I've got some. I'll comment at the end, but I would love for you to share with us how you. Well, let's talk real fast. You mentioned about $300 at the hospital. So, can you hear me okay?
No, you sound very staticky, but that's okay. But I can make it out.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can. You're super clear now.
Okay, good. Okay, so you mentioned at the hospital you got $300 in orders. Can you share with us just some examples of what were you taught? Like, were you creating conversations? you know, were you listening well? I'm sure you're doing all those things. Like, and can you give us some examples of how those conversations started and how you actually got to the point of getting orders?
So the way it started is because I knew I was in for the long haul. Anybody that knows me knows that I always bring stuff to do. So I needed to make more packets. I needed to get my samples stapled on because I'm on a mission to not have any extra spring and summer literature laying around. So I literally spread out on her floor all my piles, and I was stapling. I was as a nurse came in, I gave her a sample. As another tech came in, I gave him a sample. And then, as I was making those, I made up special thank yous for the crews that were there because she had all kind of care. And that's what started it. I gave them I just took a purple bag, like a 5x7 bag. I wrote thank you on it with a flower picture I drew. Put in there some information. I wrote each of them a note about how I appreciated them, and they started sharing. I gotta hurry and get home because my battery thing is not working. They started sharing that with all the other nurses and doctors, and that's where it came from. They would come in and say, "Can I smell? Do you have anything with you? Can I buy anything right now?" And I just told them that I couldn't leave my sister-in-law, but I have samples and I have books, and I talked them through. But what I learned from Jen Audette was I didn't just sell to them. I started talking to them. I started asking them about, have they ever thought about direct sales? Have they ever thought about owning their own home-based business? Do they have young kids? What would it feel like to be able to meet them at the bus stop and things like that? I found out who was single, who was, single parent, who was single, and those types of things. And so I just asked those probing questions. And on the backs of their door prize slips, I just wrote little notes and things. And I kind of catered their sample packet that I made to them. So like the lady who was single and just, they're nurses and they wash their hands all the time. So I gave her lotion packets and told her, I just want you every time you use this just to remember me. Here's to our, our great start, our relationship. And to the guys, I gave them all manly scents, and I gave them scent circles and things that, that would speak to them right there. And to them,
Oh, Karey, you're breaking up now. Oh, there you are.
I'm breaking up? Okay. Yeah, I'm almost home. I'm sorry.
But you're back. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm in the neighborhood. That's why. You know what, Jessica? Maybe what I should do is just rush and get into the house really fast and then pop back on and I can tell the second half of my story. And I'm so sorry, but I
don't
even know if you can hear me.
You're doing us a service.
Yeah.
You do not apologize.
Yeah, because I'm going to go through my neighborhood and you might. Huh?
Okay. Get yourselves home safe and then you could pop. Just let me know when you're back on and I'll invite you back. I'll invite you back when you're all connected and back at home, okay?
Okay, and I'll just stay here if I don't lose you. I just won't say anything.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to, while she's getting herself back together, getting all plugged up again and everything, I just wanted to kind of, Oh, okay. So I just want to kind of point out some things that Karey was shared with us, because I think the biggest key right here that I got is that Scentsy and her business and offering and sharing is always on her mind. No matter where she goes, it blends into her life. And it's not something that she separates, like I'm at work, it's my work time, I'm not a Scentsy consultant. She's a full-time Scentsy consultant who also works as an executive at American Airlines. And she utilizes that networking opportunity of being around people on a regular basis to share her business. And then even if, a lot of people would think, oh, I'm in the hospital all week with my sister-in-law, oh, that's going to be a wrench in my weekend to share my business. Instead, she saw opportunity that wherever there's human breathing people, it's an opportunity to bring her business and share her business. And the cool thing about what we sell is that it's a product that makes people feel good. It's a product that we can share and actually show our gratitude of these people taking care of her sister-in-law in the hospital. So it's a gift. It's a gift. It shouldn't be something you're embarrassed of, something that, oh, this isn't appropriate, this isn't the right time. It is always the right time for Scentsy, because Scentsy is such a emotional and feel good business and product. And this is what why Karey's always been so successful, is because she understands that. She hasn't yes, smile and be positive, Tammy, absolutely. So I love this, what she just said, is you're giving your power away when you're giving information or samples or whatever without getting information back. Because without an opportunity to build that relationship with that person, it's almost like wasted time, energy, and even money. Let's go there. Wasted energy and money that you are putting together these packets. You are buying these product lists and samples and all that stuff. And so if you want to maximize these marketing tools that you are investing in, you need to make sure that you have something in your hand to leave the ball in your court. Meaning you're going to follow up. Because here's the biggest thing. People tend to lose your stuff, not even intentionally. They mean to put it in their purse. They mean to put it somewhere that they'll remember, but then they forget. They go to Starbucks. They have it in their hand. They put it down to look in their purse to find their wallet. And all of a sudden, oh man, I left that packet at Starbucks. So I'm sure Karey's going to share with you how many times that I'm sure she's followed up. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you called me because I lost your stuff. I lost your information.
Yep.
And so that's why the fortune is in the follow-up. So are you good, or are you ready to continue?
Yep, I am good. I'm plugged up. I can't believe that happened, but I'm back. Can you hear me?
You are so clear. This is so awesome. Let me just read what somebody commented really fast, and then I'm going to let you take over again. It says, I have learned to bring a little of everything with me because people are curious as to what I have as well. And so when I'm talking, they can see, smell, and feel it. Absolutely, Jessica. Yes. Karey is definitely agreeing to that too. Okay, take her away, Miss Karey.
Okay, so I've told you some of the highlights and some of the things, and I will get back to how I did $500 in sales on Saturday. But I wanted to share another part of my story with you. So when I first, the hardest part, you know what, Jessica, that is a good point. The hardest part about getting is getting their information, but that's why we have to stay consistent and we have to keep going, because life is going to throw you lemons. It's going to throw you lemons, and you've just got to decide, are you going to make lemonade? Are you going to dance, or are you going to give up? But it comes with practice. And so I always share with my team that you're allowed to do the drop and dash. So you start with 5, because you should be trying to get at least 5 new contacts a day, right? Minimum. So if you start with 5 drop and dashes, that means you're just at the checkout to the cashier, and you just say, okay, you know what? Thanks so much. You were so sweet. Here's a sample, and you walk away. Well, by the end of the week, you should be trying to have at least 3 drop and dashes and 2 where you've grown enough to where you can say, you know what? I know you're busy, but if you just give me your cell phone number, I will text you my information. And when you get off, you can send me this information. You have a door price slip. Or maybe you simply just say, what's your email address while they're checking you out? You grow into it. And so eventually your 5 drop and dashes become 5 solid relationship building, gathering information. But you have to at least be doing something. So it's okay to crawl before we walk, right? So it's okay to drop and dash, but you should be growing towards getting enough confidence to ask for their information. Excuse me. So hopefully, you'll grow, because it's still hard for Jessica and I. I mean, no matter how much practice you get, you're just in some of those situations where you're like, oh yeah, So another way I combat that is every time I go to a restaurant or anything, and I'm looking for my little, I can do this. I can take a catalog and I put a door price slip on it with my little seed kit, and I tell them, hey, when you get a chance, can you fill out this door prize slip? And when you come back, I have something for you. And they see the washer whip or the lotion sample or the scent circle, things like that. So again, it takes the pressure off of me. I've kind of incented them a little bit because they see they're going to get a goodie. But again, if I do that consistently and I stay consistent, it becomes a little easier and a little easier. And again, then your family's like, hey, where's your Scentsy? You going to set your Scentsy out? And now with our Scentsy Go, I mean, come on. You're already getting their attention with that thing going, sitting on your table. Set your sample there with your door prize slip sitting on top of it, and the door has been open. And that's what I love about Scentsy, is they're constantly giving us the opportunity to share. We just have to take that by the horns. So the next part of my story that I wanted to share was about never giving up. And I call it because life is going to give you lemons, right? So I told you about my success and how within the first 7 months, all the amazing things that I was able to accomplish, from earning the incentive trip to hitting Sensational Start Level 3, growing my team all the way up to 250. I'm sorry, not my team, my group up to 257 people in my group. And then the end of 2015 happened, and my group went all the way down to 71. And I found myself for the first time facing the challenge of not hitting my director numbers, and then not hitting them again, and then not hitting again, till I was demoted to superstar consultant. And it was as if someone had ripped my heart out, because I thought, look at all the people I've let down. But this miraculous thing happened, and I had all these people around me reminding me that you don't quit. We're here for you. You're still Karey. You know, you hit a stumbling block. And so what I had to do is I had to look at my situation very deeply and say, what changed? What changed? And let me just tell you, I wanted to blame it on Scentsy because that was the easiest thing to do. Or I could just be honest and let you know that my focus was in the wrong place. And this, if you guys don't take anything away from my excuse busting, make sure your focus is always on home base. And home base is you, your business, your family, and your needs. If you don't take care of home base and you pour everything you have into other people, when they decide that this isn't for them, or that they're not ready to pour into it like you are, you're going to look around and your business too will start drying up and it'll start slowing down. And now it becomes an uphill battle to get it all back. Now, my team size or my group size is still about the same, but we're more mighty because we are informed, and my team now understands that they are responsible for their journey, not me. My job is to inspire them. But what I had did was I wanted it more than they did. I wanted to do it all for them and make sure they were successful. And then when they got tired and they put it up on the shelf, there I was trying to figure it all out. But the one thing I didn't do is I didn't give up. So I put all my time and energy into promoting directors who didn't really want it for themselves. And I did make myself some notes, sorry. And so when they were ready, they walked away and it was easy. And there I was. So what I had to do is I had to rebuild my front line and then work on my group. And how did I do that? I had to identify what I really wanted from my Scentsy business. I made a plan, and I do put massive action behind consistently, and I have accountability partners. You can tell yourself every day that you're going to get up and do something, but without accountability partners to remind you, or to at least be in the back of your mind saying, where's Jess? I haven't seen Jess in a couple of days. You know what? It's probably not going to happen. So be honest with yourself. And when I say, what do you want from Scentsy? What do you want from Scentsy? And then ask yourself, what do you need from Scentsy? You know, we want the world, right? We want additional income. We want to earn the incentive trips. But what do you really need? Do you need to make enough income so that you can start paying down your debt? So that you could pay for your kids' school supplies and things without having to charge things? Find out what your needs are, and then build your dreams and your goals around that need. And then you put your massive action plan in place around that need. And now you get up, because it's that thing that if I don't do this today, my kids are going to be without, or my family's going to be without. And that's what's going to drive you. And then you take those needs and you break them down into itty bitty steps, massive action steps that you do daily. And when you are consistent and you stay at it, there's going to be times when it gets tough. But guess what? Those customers that you built and those And those the foundation that you laid, they're gonna show up like champs when you least expect it. You're gonna be like, whoa, somebody just placed a $100 order. I'm like, whoa, she wants to have a party. Whoa. But that's only gonna happen when you stay consistent and you keep believing, even when it's raining outside, even when there's lemons falling everywhere around you, you keep pushing. My sister-in-law was supposed to die on Friday. That's what they told her. And you know what? We prayed and we kept going, and I kept sharing Scentsy. Because my thing is that, yeah, I didn't want that to happen to her. But what was I going to do for myself sitting there? She's all hooked up to everything and there's nothing going around. So I did what's best. I shared the gift of Scentsy. And I never gave up. And even in that darkest moment, we never gave up. We kept praying and we kept pushing through. So I made a plan. I put Master Hashtag behind it, and I stay consistent. But you have to ask yourself, do you believe that you can be successful? Do you believe that? Or do you believe that you are not good enough, or that you've gone through too much, or you don't have what you need to be successful? See, if you believe and have a dream with goals, with massive action behind them, then guess what? The only thing left is for you to do the work. Do the work, do the work. And that means when you're watching TV, ask yourself, matter of fact, not even watching TV. Let me ask you guys on this call a question. You guys can show me with some hearts or something. How many of you guys can sit down and honestly say this past weekend, you massively worked your business? Like, without a shadow of a doubt, you massively worked your business. I see you, Jess.
I was up till 12:30 every day.
There you go. But then when you really think about that question, how many of you are really sitting there going, you know what? I really didn't pick Scentsy up this weekend. I really didn't do much with it. It's the 21st of the month. We have 10 days left to make it happen, you guys. And the only way to make it happen is that Scentsy has to be a part of your life. So yeah, you're labeling catalogs while you're watching TV, but is that making you any money? Ask yourself that. Are you building a team? If you're not making follow-up calls and handing out samples and starting conversations with people, you're not. Now, I'm not asking you to do anything that's not scary or that's not challenging. I'm just asking you, how bad do you want it? How bad do you really believe that you can earn the incentive trip? How bad do you believe that you could change your life? You, not anybody else, you, that you can change your mindset each and every day and try. And then tomorrow, build on that. And then the next day, build on that and build on that. So you'll be like, wow, you know what? I can't say no more that I can't do that because look, I just did it. How many of you guys want a $2,000 a month because you haven't ever had one? Who thinks it's impossible to happen in 10 days? I've seen it happen. Last month, my biggest one day was last month. I did $742 in 1 month. In 1 day. And so let me tell you how I do that. I couldn't sleep Saturday night, Friday to Saturday because my son was leaving for good. And I was excited because someone had asked me to share on their call as well. And so I was like, okay. So I got up. These names kept popping in my head. I got up and I started going through my phone and I started making a list. And the next thing you know, an hour later, I had 145 names written down. Some were names of people that I wanted to follow up with Scentsy, but some were I just wanted to check in on them because I hadn't heard from them in a while. Just by me following up, checking in, and just reminding people, or in some cases informing people, hey, I care enough about you. The bars are going up in September. They're $3.75 each right now when you purchase a 6-pack. And oh, by the way, your favorite satin sheet is going away. Just want to make sure you know. And I went back to sleep because it was 4 o'clock. It was 3:45 in the morning when I woke up. I went back to sleep and I woke up to ding, 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 just message after message after message. Yes. And then I can't tell you how many of my customers went. I said, let me check with my brother. Let me check with my neighbor. I didn't ask for that. I just did a massive action and I put it out there because I said, what's the worst thing that can happen? They don't respond. But what's the best thing that can happen? Hey, you know, I just lost my job. And you know what I said? Have you ever thought about direct sales? No, but can you meet on Wednesday so we can talk about it? That never would have happened if I wouldn't have sent that message. Hey, I've been wanting to do a party for you for 2 years. I think I'm finally ready. That wasn't going to happen. And these are people that have been in my phone that because they're not in my regular follow-up system, you know, because maybe they don't order but once a year, whatever. But I reached out to them, you guys. And why did I do that? Because I lost a whole weekend in my mind, right? And my vendor event, it fell through too this month. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? Follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up, you guys. And because my customers know me, they can trust me, and they like me, if I put out a bolo, they're like, well, let me pay attention. She's telling me something that I probably need to pay attention to. And that's what we have to do. There's no magic. There's nothing that Becca Levi did or Jen Audette or, I can't think of all the successful people out there, the Melissa Gratz and all them. There's nothing magic they did. They found a way to make their business work. And speaking of Melissa Gratz, I'm a seller, you guys. I'm a seller. But obviously, I've recruited along the way because in a lifetime, I've recruited over 150 people personally, right? They're not all here, but I've done that. So I can't say I can't recruit, right? But I'm a seller because I like to talk and I have great intuition and just sharing with people and connecting with people. And I kept telling myself, I'm not good at recruiting. I'm not good at recruiting. I'm not good at recruiting. And then I watched Melissa Gratz's first AHA video from the real AHA. You know, they just did the second one a few weeks ago, and her very first one. And if you notice in there, Melissa Gratz has her picture on her labels. She has her picture with her story on her catalogs. She has a little card that she puts in her warmers, and it says that she is a rock star with Scentsy, and she's earned this many trips, and she's a circle of, or whatever, what is it, annual mentor award finalist and shining star finalist, and the things that she's done with Scentsy, and she puts that in her thing. You know what those are, you guys? Those are seeds. She's planting seeds, because when you just give a sample away with nothing attached that tells them anything about you, it's just a sample. But when you give them something, either a what we call a tagline or food for thought, or you give them your story with it, now you're planting seeds, because now they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Jess, she does this, and I'm home too, and I probably could do this. They start relating to you, but a sample doesn't speak to them. So I've realized that I can recruit by updating my labels, and because I'm moving so much product. Think about all the product I'm moving in when I'm selling $2,000 and $3,000 in 1 month, right? That's an opportunity for me to continue to plant seeds into those bags. So it's not that I'm not a good recruiter. It's just that I haven't been doing massive action in that area. So I'm excited to say that I'm less than $300 now away from my goal for the month. And I am going to spend these next 10 days doing nothing but focusing on recruiting, because I have a goal, and I will recruit 2 to 3 people this month, and I'm not going to give up. And you just have to get to that point where you say, you're going to fight for it each and every day, no matter what's going on, no matter because the AC went out. When the AC guy comes in, tell him, you know what, I need my Scentsy because my space isn't smelling amazing. Do you know what Scentsy is? I'm not a big jewelry person, or I wasn't. But now when I go out, I wear big rings and big earrings and things like that. And you know why I do that? So somebody can say, oh my God, girl, I love that ring. And you know what I say? Oh yeah, it's my Scentsy ring. Have you ever heard of Scentsy? It's just a way to get in the door, you guys. Jessica wears her badge upside down. I mean, that was like phenomenal when she told us all that. You just have to find that thing that's going to help you step outside your comfort zone, and then keep stepping outside that comfort zone, because somebody, let me say it this way. When you're celebrating along the way, you continue to keep going, right? So if you're trying to lose weight and you say, I'm going to cut back Pepsi, and you know what, today, wow, I only had 1 Pepsi, and I'm going to walk an extra half a mile. Woohoo, I did it. And guess what? You get up tomorrow, you're going to try to beat that record. And the next day, you're going to try to beat that record. But when you're not doing anything and you're not celebrating, that's when you get discouraged. Your mind starts telling you, oh, you can't do that. I told you this wasn't going to work. Da, 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 da. But when you're connected and you're on your team calls and you're showing up for the Scentsy events and you're getting inspired, because we can't motivate you, we can only inspire you. And you're just celebrating, and you're being re-energized. Guess what? You keep going. But it's when you disconnect, because most of the time when we have challenges, we disconnect and we move further and further and further and further away from our teams, and then we start blaming them. When it's getting challenging, that's when you get closer and you connect more and you reach out more. And that's how you pull through those things. When I lost my team, my directorship, I didn't lose my team. I lost my directorship. It took 2 months. So I lost it the first month, and then I had it back by the end of the second month. Because my friends are like, this is not the Karey we know. Get up. So we all have weak moments. But when you surround yourself with people that will never allow you to give up, then you will always be winning. So I don't know. I hope that's like, what you want to hear? You want to ask me?
You are so awesome! Oh my gosh, And I want
Thank
to
you.
tell everybody that Karey mentioned about having an accountability buddy, and Karey's mine. We talk every day on Marco Polo, and we check in and we share, and everybody knows I've had definitely a setback in the past 6 months that pulled me definitely for a loop and really changed my life forever. And it was the first time I ever literally started to disconnect from just everything around me, and I'm not that kind of person. And Karey was there to say, you need to get yourself going, and you need to be the Jess that you are, that I know and everybody knows, and we are going to get through this together. And so that's one of the blessings that this business does, is you have people that love and care about you and support you and want your success, even though they don't need to and they don't benefit from you. And they, you know, whether you are successful or not, it's not going to change their world, but they care. And so honestly, that is one of the biggest reasons why you want to stay connected and build your own organization as well, because, you know, you have that support. And so is there any, I haven't seen any comments yet. I'm sure, because I've got like tons of pages. I'm sure you guys do.
Well, I did see that Jessica, the other Jessica I don't want to mess your name up, Pangelian. She had made the comment that she says, I've been leaving samples everywhere, so I have that down. And I would just like to challenge you to, and you may be getting their information, but again, if you're leaving something and not receiving something, then you've given the power away to follow up. And you want to, you know, like for instance, here's another thing I do. I take my seed kit, which I can't find this very second. I don't know why. But I take a seed kit and I will put enough information in there for 5 or 6 people, and I'll stop at a doctor's office and I'll say, hey, would you like to earn a free Scentsy? And I just say a free Scentsy product. And it may be a room spray, it may be a Scentsy Fresh, or it may be a warmer, depends on what they do. Hey, will you get these door prize slips filled out? And about how many people are in your office? You know, I always start with 5, but I say you can make copies or I can give you a few more. And when they do, I say, I'll do a door prize. I'll do a drawing for a room spray for everybody that fills it out completely. And then you get to pick out something you want. And I usually, like I said, I do the clean line or something like that. I'm not going in there to get a sale, but guess what? That's usually what happens. I'm really going in there to build relationships and start connecting. So again, if you're just too, like, I can't ask people for the information. If you're friendly with the receptionist at the doctor's office, then ask her to collect the orders for you. And those free and half price items that you get, then you can use those to say thank you with, you know, or you can buy some cute little bottles and take your Scentsy Fresh and maybe make 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 nicer size thank yous. Put it in some tulle with a bunch of ribbon on it and say, here's a sample of the Scentsy Fresh, you know, and tell them all about it and things like that. So you just have to figure out ways to start building the relationships and making sure that you're giving yourself the power to follow up. That's the key thing, is making sure you have the opportunity, whether it's an email, their cell phone number or something. You need a way so that you can initiate that follow up. She says, what do you put in the packets that you had in the car? Well, that's what I'm looking for. Hold on. I think I left it in the car. I was going to show you guys that. You guys knew I was in my car. That's embarrassing. I have them.
Why? You're on the go. You're working your business wherever you go. You are a great example.
Yeah.
I love
that. That
it.
is definitely
no
true.
You could have said, sorry, Jess, I would have been I'm driving home. I can't do the call. You said, I'll make it happen.
Yep, that's right. So I'm going to show you guys what I have in here. So here's one where I put wanted someone with the desire to be a stay-at-home mom. So a call to action tag is what I call these. And I can actually get these uploaded on your page without my information on it, so you guys can use them. You could change it to whatever you know, because you guys, some of you guys might be military. Some of you guys, oh, that's going to fall. I'm trying to stand my phone up so I can show you. But you know, you can make it fit whatever lifestyle. So let me open this up and show you what I have in here. And these little bags, I got them Uline. You can buy them at Uline, and I have a whole tool sheet that I can show you, I can upload to and show you where I got everything from. But you can also order these on Amazon. They're nothing special. And these are paper, you guys. I believe in budget-friendly stuff. If I don't have colored ink, I do black and white, and I just highlight like my information in a nice, pretty marker color, and I highlight wanted. just to give it a pop of color if I have to use black and white. So don't let not having ink be an excuse. So that's that. This one happens to have a sample of the lotion, a hand cream, a join, the flyer of the month. Now, my new door price lip, so don't judge me, has a sticker on here with my picture that says text your info. But I put that in there because people can't always talk to you, right? It says text your info and you'll get a free goodie. A product list. And then here's my other. This is the Starbucks one that says that if it's not for you, to pass it along to a family member, but if it is for you, a Starbucks on me, basically. And then I put a sample of wax. So right now I'm doing black raspberry vanilla because I had to pick a scent that's going to be here after the transition. I hate to make samples and then they're going to go away if I don't get them all out. So
right.
And what I was saying is that you can take this and make this be, and I have a couple of things I want to go up in my office and show you guys. Sorry. You can take that packet and make it be whatever you want it to be or whatever you need it to be. So I hope that answered your question, what was in it, but let me in my office. I have, oh my Lord, I did a live here yesterday, so I made these cards. Oh, where's my stuff? Oh, so I have these cards too. This is one of the cards I'm looking for. This is my story card, and it just says why we choose Scentsy, and I have friends, family, and myself. And then on the back, I have my story. And what says where our journey began, and it's all about Steve and I, my boys. And I just put, it's a little blurb. I had to shrink my story down to fit on here. But again, you guys, this is something you can throw into your seed kit, or you can throw into your I hate to say throw, but you can put into your customers' bags, and you can plant seeds of recruiting. And the other way I can change up the seed kit is I can, if it's an existing customer, I can give them my referral card. And this is just generic. It just says refer a customer, you get this, refer a party, you get this, refer a consultant, you get this. But on the back, I just added a little blurb, and Jessica gave me a tip of adding my return address, which I haven't done on these, but on my new ones I have. And it just says, refer today. The rewards are amazing. My business grows with each referral and great customers like you. Thank you for remembering me for all your Scentsy needs. I can't wait to spoil you. So this is a referral card, but this is my favorite card that I made. And it just says Scentsy's calling. Because how many times do you guys have customers that you haven't spoken to in months, years? You find that stack of door price slips that you never went through. Well, this is just a cute something. Again, I can put it in the seed pack, or I can throw that little flyer will go, or that little mailer will go into the mail. As long as everything is pretty flat, you can mail it for 70 cents. And it just says, Scensy's calling, call today to hear about all the new products. It has my information, my phone number, and on the back it says, we miss you. Here's 10% off to help you restock. I'm sure your warmers are dreaming of fresh wax, and your home is waiting to get the amazing scent back. Call right away and get stocked up today. Again, just something to put out there. So the thing of it is, you guys, don't make it, use Vistaprint, make cards, figure out ways to make it work for you harder and smarter without you having to wear yourself out. Does that make sense? You just want to make sure that you are, you have tools and you invest your hard-earned money into things that will actually be impactful for your business. I'm going to actually sit down in my little video corner. And I mean, I don't know. That's what's in my seed kit, but I can convert that seed kit into a referral seed kit, a we miss you seed kit, or an actual recruiting handout sample seed kit. And so those seed kits work better for me than recruiting folders. I take recruiting folders to my home parties. But my on the go, those seed kits fit right in my purse. They fit in my back pocket. I have a little bin of them at my job. And every time I go down to lunch, I intentionally take 3 of them with me. When I ride up on the elevator in the morning, I have one in my hand. It is my goal to try and get a contact each and every day. Now, sometimes the elevator is super, super packed, and I'm super, super like, okay, I'm not saying anything. But usually that's not the case. Somebody's going to say, hey, Karey, or whatever, and I'll be like, hey, did we ever talk about your Scentsy party? And I say it loud enough so everybody in the elevator can hear me. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, yeah, I've gotten pretty bold because once my executive boss made a big announcement at this big leadership that I was at that I sell Scentsy, I was like, okay, carte blanche. It's okay to share everywhere we go. So, but you have to set the precedence. Again, if you are shy or being, holding back because, oh, you don't want to offend or you're not sure. Here's my thing. I say go for it, and you can ask for forgiveness later if it's not allowed. And I'm not saying break major rules, but your lunch bag should be a Scentsy bag. Your mouse pad can be a Scentsy mouse pad. Your cup that you drink out should be Scentsy. Those are subtle but powerful ways that people can know that you sell Scentsy.
Amen to that, sister.
What was in that kit? Okay, I did that. Yep. So I hope that helps out for you, Jessica, and everybody on the call. I appreciate the questions and I appreciate the time. And guys, I just want you guys to know that I'm just a regular, and I am not a grandmother. Let me correct you on that. That's my nephew. That's my nephew. Everybody thinks it's my grandbaby.
Oh,
my sister had a baby really late.
Oh, well,
yeah, everybody thinks that's my grandchild.
To have young babies, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, my kids have no kids, thank God. But I am just an ordinary girl who is crazy enough to dream and believe that it's possible for me to achieve anything. And I happen to surround myself with some amazing people like y'all's leader, Jessica, and others. And I just want to encourage you guys to do the same. You're so welcome, Melissa. I want to encourage you guys to do the same, to just remember that, you know what, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. We all have financial challenges here and there, or we may experience a family challenge, or we may feel, experience a little bit of doubt or whatever it is, negativity, but it's your mindset. How are you going to change your mindset to power through that? And if you lose your mind in the process, and what I mean is not go crazy, but what I mean is if you don't get control of your mind early on, or when you realize that that's happening, it could just spiral out of control because the itty bitty negative committee is just sitting there waiting to say, I told you so. But I'm here to tell you that if you wake up, you do affirmations, you can follow Eric Thomas. He's like if you don't have enough time in the day or you don't feel like you have enough time in the day, go check out Eric Thomas. He calls himself ET. And he will tell you that the early riser, you have to rise up. You have to be willing to sacrifice. Maybe not every day, but like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I work late at work Tuesdays and Thursdays so that I can get out earlier and do things with Scentsy on the other days and with my church and things like that. So just decide that you want it. Decide that earning this incentive trip is possible, and that decide that you're not going to let your negative itty bitty committee. It's not your husband. It's not your significant other. It's not your sponsor. It's not your leader. It's you. Decide that you're not going to let you get in your way and get up each and every day and go for it. And I promise you, you will get there. You would. That's right, Tammy. There is no can't in her dictionary. I love that. That's right. We can do anything that we put our mind to. And you know what? It's possible. That's what I love. It's possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I enjoyed getting on. I love to share.
Thank you so much, Miss Karey B.
Yes.
You are so welcome. And I am just very honored to know you and for you to share all your knowledge. You are so inspiring. You helped me in so many ways. You helped me reconnect, and just it doesn't matter what we all are human beings. We have to be reminded, and you always have room to learn new things. I've been doing this for not as long as Karey, but full time, and running crazy with Scentsy, and there's always something new you can learn, and new ideas, and a spin, and something you haven't done in ages that you're like, oh my gosh, I used to do that all the time, and I haven't done that forever, and it makes such a big difference. So thank you for sharing all these postcards. If you don't mind posting them on our page, I'll leave you on if you don't mind, or send them to me however you feel comfortable, and just so they can see the verbiage you use, because that's awesome verbiage for the cards and stuff, and the secrets that you have on. We would love that. So we're not going to take any more of your time. You are amazing. We love you. Tell Steve we said hi. We love him too.
I will.
And I will see you in the morning, because I'll mark you telling you what I'm doing. But
that's right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody that was on live. Say goodbye to Miss Karey.
Bye, guys. You guys are so welcome. Right. And you know what? Just remember, you were born for greatness. And as the Fly Girl told us at reunion, you should launch like right where you're at. You don't need anything special. Right where you're at, launch, and you are free to engage. Mwah. Talk to you guys later.
Love it. Yes, she was awesome. All right.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Have a good night.